Café Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The last podcast was called Tofu. I was in a tofu frame of mind. I might make some tofu tonight. It's just that kind of night.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's episode 2648, 2648. That's great. I'm Mike Matthews. Hey, I just want to tell you about everything that I ate today. But no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sing the song's almost over. We're at Café Anyway. Have a chicken wing. Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. My name is Mike Matthews, and the show's called
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Now that that's all been clarified and everything, like butter, I wanted to tell you
Mike's
that I bought something
Daily
on Amazon.
Podcast.
Now, I know a lot of you
Yeah.
buy stuff on Amazon all the time. We are spoiled. We are so spoiled as a nation to have this thing called Amazon. It just makes everything so easy. However, there is this little bit of a incongruent. It's an anomaly. Thank you. And that is that when you are trying to figure out specifics about the product, whether it be a dress, this is my guess in the world of ladies. Ladies, are you purchasing dresses? I don't know. On it, what does my lovely lady friend purchase? Well, I can't do that. Can't tell you all that secret. I will say there has been some clothes. So if you are looking specifically, like how does the collar look on me? Or in my world, I'm looking more like electronics. Like I needed a jump starter, one of these boxes that will jumpstart your battery, jumpstart your car. And I looked, and I know my next door neighbor, he's got a jump starter that he got from Costco, and it works a specific way. So I'm trying to see if these other jump starters on Amazon work the same way. And from what I can gather,
and here's today's podcast picture.
It's a podcast picture of a jump starter. No, it is of something I'll tell you in a second. Give me a chance to find it first. But yes, what I'm telling you is I just wanted to know if this jump starter was like a battery that just came to you and you use it a certain amount of times and then it ends, or can you recharge the battery to jumpstart more times in the future? That's all I wanted to know. Nowhere could I find that anywhere. It was buried in like a little video that moved super fast. The late great Basil the Boxer. I got lots of videos of him running around, enjoying himself like he's doing there, right there. The late great Basil the Boxer. So I'm trying to figure out. Nowhere does it tell me, except for this one little spot in the video. I ended up going with. I could have gotten one that was about $20 cheaper, and I didn't see anything that recharged on its own. So I had to go. I went with the one that said to me in my face, as clear as can be, Mike, yes, this thing recharges. And you know what? They got my dollars. They got the extra $20, which I'll probably be thankful that I got that, because it has to do with your car battery. You want to be careful with that kind of thing. If it's July 27th, it's National Car Battery Day. No, it's not. It's actually National Chili Dog Day. Guess what? That is not the healthiest thing for you, but they're so delicious. Do you put mustard on top of that? Do you put all the other accoutrements on top of that? Or do you just have chili and the dog? Or do you, if you are a vegetarian, do you eat any of those fake dogs, hot dogs? Wasn't it National Hot Dog Day the other day? It seems like it's always either Hot Dog Day or Vanilla Shake Day. When you look at these national calendars, national this, national that. Well, it is National Scotch Day for you drinkers out there. You drink maybe you want to drink a scotch. It's also National Creme Brulee Day. I'm not proud of what I just did. Creme brulee for your French people. It's delicious. You get the acetylene torch and you bounce the top of it to get it nice and crunchy. And it's National Intern Day. Let's hear it for you interns that put up with all these old people that tell you that you want to have the job they have, but you got to do this intern thing and pay your dues and all that. Let me just tell you this. You're never done paying your dues, but don't let any company take advantage of you. Now, we live in a world where a lot of companies are looking at the bottom line and they're, we're not going to be able to afford you anymore. So there's that. But it's a fine line you want to walk. On that is my little bit of advice for you. And remember, with all this gray hair comes a lot more wisdom. A lot of wisdom for a couple of gray hairs, I guess is what I'm saying. It's also Armistice Day, National Korean War Veterans Day. Yes, the Korean War, boy, that was an awful thing. And so soon after World War II, what our grandparents, our great-grandparents went through. We salute them. And then we have National Refreshment Day to enjoy, as I guess you need refreshments after all of that, after all I went through. Oh, it's also National New Jersey Day, but who cares? I kid. I used to know a guy named Ken. He was from Bayonne, New Jersey. And I thought he was making up that word, but that's a place. Someday I'll go and I'll visit. Woo! His mother was very nice. I think she was on the podcast once. So there you go. The point is that we all shop on Amazon. And it would be nice. And I know there's that little question and answer thing down at the bottom you can do. And the other very good advice about Amazon is to not just buy whatever's at the top of the page. You got to scroll down, go to the compare other items. You got to do some searching to finally get. And apparently with me, you have to do a lot of searching.
Ginormous.
To finally find. But I could have paid $300 for this thing. The cheapest I saw it was $66 and maybe even in $59. But I don't know. That just maybe now you're tempting fate. Tempting fate with that. Because you're dealing with electricity. You're dealing with your car battery. Yeah. Well, we're outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth.
Anyway.
Talking about anomalies, talking about cars. And car loans are tougher to get. More cars are finally available, but buyers now face borrowing challenges that could keep them from getting a new ride. The rejection rate for auto loans last month rose to 14.2%. It jumped up. That was from the previous was 9% in February.
The Fascinating Material Project. FM Project.
Although we're hearing now that we're going to have a soft landing with the economy, probably. The thing that I really hate is not... Well, stagflation is when the jobs... A lot of people don't have jobs. Prices are going through the roof. And there was a third thing. Everybody smells really bad. I forget what it is. But that's stagflation. They smell like deer, like stags. Something like that. But that's with the thing, shrinkflation is the thing where the object you're buying is the same price, but you're getting less than you used to. But I have not seen that in any restaurants. It seems like you're paying more and getting less. Terrible shrinkflation going on. Americans paying at least $1,000 a month on new loans lately. It reached a record high of just over 17% in June. Giant payments have led to a spike in severe delinquency rates. This was in the month of May, and that was the worst since the year 2006. Magnification. Here's a little bit of advice that I got from Rob Black. Rob Black does a radio show, and he has a podcast. I produce the podcast, Rob Black and Your Money. The Rob Black Show. Don't extend the term of the loan to lower your monthly payments. He says, I advise against that because the longer the duration of payments, the more you end up paying in interest. Better nip it in the bud. However, he does like to have with his house, when he buys houses, he talks about this a lot on his podcast, that he never just buys the house completely. He always gets a loan and pays off the interest, and pays on the interest. And he does that in case something happens to the house, then he's not responsible. It's kind of like having a landlord, but yet you're throwing money away. But then again, something bad could happen to the house and you're on the hook. I don't get it. But he likes that. I'm debt averse overall.
Magnification.
2022 saw 2.6 million weddings. I know a lot of weddings happened this year, but last year there was a 30% increase from 2021. The explosive wedding boom seen last year is winding down, but the average cost of nuptials is still going strong. Couples will shell out an average of almost $30,000 this year to say I do. And that was up about $1,000 from the previous year. The COVID pandemic wedding was about $4,000 less. More than 77% of vendors surveyed said that they raised rates for 2023 as they raised wages to support the workers because of that recession thing that did or did not happen. Hey, you know what people are doing more of these days with the weddings? Midday ceremonies instead of ones in the evening. Wild welcome parties is a thing.
Mike's Matthewsment Park.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated at all times.
They go crazy with the cakes. This must be from all those reality TV shows about cake baker people, makers. And also that's very in is smaller ceremonies that are more intimate. And I've heard people suggest, hey, do a destination wedding. That way less people will show up. It'll only be the people that are really dedicated that you really want there. And then you'll all have great memories. You won't have to pay for a bunch of people's plates. It'd just be an intimate group. But what is out is uniform bridesmaid dresses. Really? Uniform bridesmaid dresses? Does that mean everybody has the same dress? Or is it a dress that looks like a uniform? Welcome bags are more out this year. People used to get little bags that had those little almonds with the vanilla that are like hard coated and maybe a picture or something. What's out is also brides wearing white ivory dresses. That's not as in as it used to be. And big expensive engagement rings are not as in as they used to be. Plus, people saying hashtags, wedding hashtags. I guess when you're on Twitter or X or whatever they call it.
Mike's out of left field recordings.
Recording everything captures actions that will never again be repeated.
We're outside a Café Anyway somewhere in Podcaster Valley.
Oh, I just got back from a jog.
You got back from a jog. Your microphone's not really on, so did you want to say something?
Hello.
Okay. We'll point this in your general direction.
I'm gonna get some water.
Oh, you're going to get some water. Okay, I'm going to turn off that microphone. She's going to go get... She went for a jog, everyone. Let's hear it for lovely lady friend going for a jog. Good. Okay. Oh, SAG-AFTRA union leadership tells actors no TikTok deals. No TikTok deals. Because, you know, some people want to break the, what do they call that? The strike line? The strike, they want to
picket line?
Cross the picket line, thank you, by doing TikTok deals. So no TikTok deals for makeup and, you know, it's talking about how great your makeup looks because people like to do that on TikTok. I don't know. Do people do that on YouTube, lovely lady friend?
Heck yeah.
Talk about makeup?
Yeah.
They sure do. When we catch up with lovely lady friend later on her laptop, I bet you she'll be watching a makeup video because that's what they have on YouTube, believe it or not. And I guess you're not allowed to do that unless you had pre-strike approval before the strike. And then we have one last thing here that will be Mike saying that, oh boy, Sinead O'Connor. Oh, one of my favorite songs from her was on the same album that had Nothing Compares to You. Okay, yes, Prince wrote it. Yes, I guess it's a classic. It's sometimes called an 80s song, though it really got popular in 1990. But the other song off that album was called The Emperor's New Clothes. And that is a very autobiographical, interesting song. And it's got a cool beat and it's chord progression, kind of like bam, 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 something like that. I forget now. But that was an awesome song. And of course, the Manteca song. I don't know if that's actually about lard or about the town in Central California, Central Valley. But that was an awesome song, and that's such a tragedy. She was only about 2 years older than me. And there was something I was wondering about that it was in the back of my mind that had to do with Miley Cyrus and Sinead O'Connor. And there was a back and forth with the two of them.
Magnification.
I don't remember. Let's see. Oh yeah, there was a lot of controversy surrounding Sinead O'Connor. The national anthem one. She sparked outrage after refusing to have the national anthem played before her concert at the Garden State Arts Center in New Jersey. Back to New Jersey Day. She boycotted the Grammys in 1991, explaining that she believed that the ceremony was steeped in commercialism. And of course, the Pope picture scandal. That was, it was when she was on Saturday Night Live, and it was to protest the sexual abuse of children in the Catholic Church. So she ripped a picture of Pope John Paul II. Then she performed a stark a cappella version of War, Bob Marley's 1976 song on racism, adapting the words to address the issue of clerical child abuse. The show came a little over a year after she had won a Grammy for the song Nothing Compares to You video. It was her second Saturday Night Live appearance in 2 years, but it was to be her last as she was blacklisted by the show at the peak of her popularity. But despite being initially crucified for speaking out about the Catholic Church, she helped thousands of victims to come forward about abuse allegations. And she actually became a priest. In 1991, she shocked fans after announcing that she had become a priest after she was pronounced Mother Bernadette Mary at a ceremony staged by the Latin Tridentine Church. She came under fire after it was revealed that she had also donated about $165,000 to Bishop Michael Cox, who ordained her. She said,
"A fine article.
You silly, great, fat article.
You will travel into the incredible universe."
And she said, "I'm sorry I did that," regarding the tearing up of the image of the Pope. It was a disrespectful thing to do. I have never met the Pope. I'm sure he's a lovely man. It was more of an expression of frustration. She came out as a lesbian in 2000, saying most of her life she had gone out with blokes because I haven't necessarily been terribly comfortable about being a lesbian. She is... In 2005, she said she considered herself to be 3/4 heterosexual and 1/4 gay. And that was in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. This all from irishmirror.com through Microsoft MSN. She also did a very interesting contribution to Peter Gabriel's album, Us. And there was two songs that she did with Peter on that, singing backup, and in some lines she sang on her own as well. Now, Peter Gabriel does amazing songs with women. He did the fantastic song with Running Up That Hill, famous woman. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by seeing these pictures of Sinead. It's wow. I'm having a moment where I can't remember who sang Running Up That Hill. But yes, they did that wonderful song, Don't Give Up. Well, Sinead O'Connor and Peter Gabriel did the song, Won't You Please Talk to Me? Great song. And the Blood of Eden, I think, was the name of the song. Two songs on that album were just amazing. In concert, Peter didn't have Sinead. He had Paula Cole sing with him on those songs. But yes, it was wow. She did have a bust up with Prince. She came out with another shocking revelation after she claimed she had a violent bust up with the late singer Prince. She said at the time he had a lot of female proteges and I had covered his song without having anything to do with him. He invited me to his house in LA and started to give out to me for swearing in interviews. When I told him to blank himself, he got very upset and became quite threatening physically. I ended up having to escape. He can pack a punch. A few blows were exchanged. All I could do was spit. I spat on him quite a bit. Wow. I had never heard that story. In 2012, Kate Bush. I kept wanting to say Shelley Long. I was getting Shelley Long blocked. It was Kate Bush. In 2013, Sinead published an open letter to U.S. singer Miley Cyrus about the treatment of women in the music industry and the role that sexuality plays in this context following the release of Miley's Wrecking Ball song that was a huge hit. She said, "The message you keep sending is that it's somehow cool to be prostituted. It's so not cool, Miley. It's dangerous. Women are to be valued for so much more than their sexuality. We aren't merely objects of desire. I would be encouraging to you to send healthier messages to your peers that they and you are worth more than what is currently going on in your career." Oh, the other song I love by Sinead O'Connor is No Man's Woman. That was a pretty good song. It came out in the O's and was sort of this comeback song for her, a hit. She then converted to Islam in 2018, changed her name to Shuhada Sadakat. And then there was a racist Twitter post controversy. She ignited a Twitter storm calling non-Muslims disgusting. And then she claimed that she spoke to the Cranberry singer from the other side. They did sound quite similar. Dolores O'Riordan, also not with us anymore. In 2019, she claimed that she had spoken to Dolores, and they sounded very similar. When you hear Zombie, and then you hear like something else Sinead did, like Mantika, it's like, wow. They did have similar vocal styles and voices, but she said she spoke to Dolores from beyond the grave, and the Cranberry singer had a lovely message for a man who showed her great kindness. Sinead revealed on social media that she had trained as a medium and had felt Dolores' presence as she performed a song for a tribute album dedicated to Dolores of the Cranberries, Dolores O'Riordan. And then there were other ones. Wow. Pierce Morgan and her had a dust up. She had entered a year-long rehab after canceling all shows for 2021. As of this recording, I do not know exactly what took her life, but there you go. Just wanted to mention that little bit. But, very sad. Very sad. We've lost so many greats in the past couple of years, including Dolores O'Riordan. And, well, Tony Bennett, of course, recently, but 80s stars. It's just so sad that so many of these people that were huge in the 80s and 90s are leaving us.
And now we return you to our regularly scheduled program with Mike Matthews.
Kombucha.
Can we end the show on an up note, Madame Rootabega?
Hello, Michael Mash, it's Madame Rootabega, and I love New Jersey. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Do you love the album by Bon Jovi of the same name?
Yes.
Do you love the Bon Jovi album Slippery When Wet?
Yes.
Do you love the album by Blink 182 called, I guess this album's called Blink 182. I happened to pull it out of the CD rack. Do you like this one?
No.
Oh, you don't? It's got the song Obvious on it. Oh, and I Miss You. I heard that on the radio today. There's a station that used to play alternative rock, and then it changed for a while to this random music station where they're playing random hits from the 70s, 80s, and 90s and O's. It was called Dave, somebody's name, Jack, one of those type of stations. But then it went back to become Live 105.3. It's back, and I heard that song today. Look who else is here.
Hello, dear Mike. This is Valentino, the Bear King attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, what was that funny thing that you said the other day that lady sent you a bunch of T-shirts that seniors wear?
Yeah. T-shirts that seniors wear. Do you know that?
Okay. A little gray hair is a small price to pay for all this wisdom. That was the one I was trying to think of earlier. And the one that, okay, I have stopped listening, so why are you still talking? Love that one. And I guess that also pertains to me. So I'll wrap up the show. If you want to call in and chime in about anything we covered today, express your opinion, express yourself, you can go to this number on your phone, dial 510, because we are in the East Bay, and that's our area code, 510-228-4640. And with more ways to reach me, it's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.